In the news this week, experts expose the dangers of legalising assisted suicide. A senior SNP minister is criticised for likening a new sex swap law to the fight against apartheid. And this week marks 250 years of the world-famous hymn Amazing Grace. Hello. Allowing doctors to help vulnerable patients kill themselves would be an assault on human dignity, experts on assisted suicide have warned. In recent days, palliative care experts and leading ethicists have challenged the notion that there is any dignity in surrendering to an early, coerced death. Among those speaking out against removing existing legal safeguards was Baroness Finlay, who said in a letter to The Times, "Our dignity is affected by the way others behave towards us. It is destroyed by dismissive attitudes that undermine our self-worth." Bioethics expert Callum McKellar told the Christian Institute why liberalising the law in Britain would be so dangerous.
If society agrees that some lives are unworthy of life, that some lives no longer have any worth or value, I believe we are on a very dangerous path. It's not just the self-worth of the person that is being put into question. It's the whole concept of equality and value and worth in society that is being put back into question. And that is why assisted suicide is so dangerous to society.
An SNP cabinet minister has likened the passing of a bill to make it much easier to change legal sex to the fight against apartheid. Writing for the Edinburgh News, Angus Robertson celebrated the vote to approve the Gender Recognition Reform Scotland Bill by quoting Nelson Mandela. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Robertson added, "In passing this legislation, I fervently believe the Parliament and people of Scotland have taken one more step in doing just that." The Institute's Simon Calvert criticised the minister's absurd comments.
Well, it's an absolutely appalling comparison to make, to try and suggest that the Scottish Government, by ramming through its gender self-ID, is somehow as heroic as Nelson Mandela fighting apartheid. I mean, it's as ridiculous as it is offensive. And I think it shows how desperate they're getting. They know that less than a fifth of the Scottish public supports what they've done. But to try and suggest that those of us who think that men are men and women are women are comparable to racists, it's really very offensive. And as I say, desperate. And I think it just reflects the fact that they know they're on the losing side of this argument.
Satanists in the United States are pushing to overturn pro-life laws there so they can enact what they call their religious abortion ritual. Speaking to The Guardian, the Satanic Temple's co-founder, Lucien Greaves, attempted to justify legal action against abortion laws in Texas, Indiana, Idaho, and Missouri. Greaves claimed that as a minority religion, the states are preventing the temple's members from practicing their beliefs. During the ritual, the mother views her reflection before taking deep breaths and reciting two of the temple's tenets. Speaking of its legal action, Greaves stated, "We have to play the long game." And finally, John Newton's world-famous hymn, Amazing Grace, celebrated its 250th anniversary. The former slave trader, who became a Church of England minister, first read aloud the hymn on New Year's Day 1773 to accompany a sermon on 1 Chronicles 17, 16-17. The words reflect John Newton's journey to faith. "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see." Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.